Hey guys, welcome to another video of Kyperian Automation. Today we're going over choosing your automation tool, Selenium or Katalon Studio. So let's jump right into it. Today I have a breakdown for you. We're going to go through Katalon, we're going to go through Selenium, we're going to talk a little bit about each. This is not meant to be exhaustive to answer every question out there, just to drill down to the point. Overall summaries. Okay. Katalon Studio. So let's talk about upfront cost. Katalon has a free version and it's great. However, it also has a enterprise version. The enterprise version is $80. That could be a make or break for some teams that just want to go everything open sourced. Katalon is still very usable even though it's free version. There are going to be some limitations of the features. We'll talk about just a few of those today in the video. Okay, let's hit setup. Katalon Studio setup. It is relatively easy to get started with Katalon. It is a one-stop shop, as in you download it, everything's already ready for you. You could start scripting almost immediately. If you know a little bit of coding, you're going to fly. But let's take it back as just one point. Who are we going to be that's automating all these scripts? It's not the project manager. It's not going to be a developer. It's most likely going to be a QA or a QA engineer. Now, they might be experienced, they might not. Let's say, worst case scenario, they're not. They don't have much experience at all with coding. Well, the great thing about Katalon is that when you look at the script, it's pretty straightforward what's going on. Beyond the setup, that might be intimidating, but again, once you get the setup going, it's relatively easy to roll with because the setup is going to be the same on almost all of your scripts, probably. But let's jump over here. So let's say they don't have a lot of experience. Well, look right here. They can see that this is a test case about logging in and logging out. They can see that the tool is setting text on some object called username, and it's filling it in with some Gmail. Okay, they know exactly what this is. It's pretty straightforward. And if they look just a few lines later, they can see that a variable is being declared about an invalid error message that's being retrieved. Okay, they can go through this. They could probably start cranking out scripts within a couple days if they have zero knowledge. And if they have some knowledge, they could probably have some of their regression test cases completed before the end of the day. That might be a bit aggressive, but let's be hopeful. Okay, so that's how simple it is with Katalon. It's really easy to get it set up on the system. It's download. It's almost just download and go. It's a little bit more complicated than that, but not by much. Okay, let's jump over and fill out some of our Selenium categories. Selenium, open source. This thing is free. Very good. So that's everything about it. There's nothing behind a paywall. You're going to be able to do everything on open source Selenium. That's the huge perk. The setup for Selenium can be very time consuming. I've seen some teams that have taken days and a week, maybe a little more, to get it set up. Granted, they didn't know what they were doing, but some of you may be in that boat. Other people, they might be able to get it set up in a few hours, but that's really aggressive. So setup is not very easy. It's not friendly. It's going to take time. Okay, it's not Katalon download. Let's go. Okay. Ease of use, again, over here at Katalon, it's pretty easy once you know a little bit of the language and the web drivers about how to construct your scripts, how to make validations, how to loop, if then else statements, yada yada yada. Another big feature is out of the box, it has object repositories. You can start creating objects on your web page. You can start saving those XPaths and CSS selectors. And the best part is you can reuse them on other scripts. It's great. It's going to be very convenient for your QAs to pick it up very fast. So let's go ahead and put it over, and the ease of use, very, very convenient, very simple. There are some things that do require some getting used to, but it's made so everything's going to be that way, right? Okay. Ease of use for Selenium. I took this same script, converted it over to Selenium, so you can see what it looks like. It's not the exact same code, but practically speaking is doing the exact same thing. Now let's say you're a QA, you're coming in here, let's start scripting. To read this script, they're going to need some training on what does it look like, what does Java look like, how does it operate. They're going to need some coding classes. They might be able to trudge through it if they have a little bit of background in coding. And once you get into it, again, you kind of see what's going on here with the web drivers and the send keys and everything else. You can kind of see that this is the exact same portion of the script that I showed you before, but it's a lot more complex. Now, remember that Katalon Studio itself is built on top of Selenium. So everything that you're doing is already being derived from Selenium. They just gave it a really slick interface that's very convenient for you to use. There is a record and play mode on Katalon, but let's not even go there. I don't think that's a worthwhile venture for you. We can get into that on another video. Okay, Selenium, ease of use. It is high learning curve. While Katalon, it's a low learning curve. Okay. The next big thing that everyone's going to be curious about and should know right out the get-go is that Katalon free version, DevOps, not an option. But if you're going to go enterprise and pay that monthly fee, you're going to get the ability to run Katalon inside your CI/CD pipelines, which is what there is going to be a lot of people out there that they're going to be out right away if the free option does not include CID and no integration for automation, automating your scripts right into your CI/CD. Okay, so that's not going to be very good for some people. Oh. Over here with Selenium, it's very convenient, very easy. And the best part is open sourced. You're going to be able to do it. It's not going to be a problem. You're going to be able to hook this up to Jenkins with some plugins. Not a problem. Okay. I mean, you can even get pretty crafty and hook this up and fire off your scripts once you have them set up. You can fire them off from the command line. Life gets pretty easy if you're handy with coding in Selenium. So the summaries, let's just go with the free Katalon. It's very simple, right? QAs will pick it up fast. And over here in Selenium, high learning curve. You will need you're going to need some coding knowledge. Completely free. That's a huge perk of Selenium. It's dev friendly if you have any sort of inclination that way. And this Katalon, good to go right out of the box. Okay, so let's get into the end. Let's make this a shorter video. So what you as a team, you as an organization, what do you want right now? Do you want something that's going to be pumping out scripts, getting your regression testing automated as soon as possible? Do you value no cost? You love the open source idea of Selenium? Do you like the seamless integration with your CI/CD pipelines? Are your QAs currently on your team? Are they willing to jump into a coding field or get their toes wet? Are you going to need a new resource to hire on your team to jump into this? Lots of these answers, once you have them nailed down, you'll be able to look at the pros and cons and figure out which direction to go. Now, at Hyperion Automation, we would love to partner with you and dig into those details. For more information, please follow and reach out. Thanks.